Let's talk about camera equipment and this strange project I'm doing. Right now I'm walking on a trail that I walked on yesterday because at some point I lost the fuzzy wind protector for my microphone on this camera. And this camera has really good audio. It's a Zoom camera, not Zoom the chatting utility, but Zoom cameras. It's a Q8 something, Q8 Handycam something. It's pretty old. The batteries are held together with duct tape. I've only got 2 batteries, which is not good because sometimes I want to keep recording and they run out. The SD card that I used, that I recorded on yesterday for hours and hours as I was in town, I got back and I couldn't get any files off of it. It just says that it suggests I format it. And I even wiped it down with alcohol to try and clean it a little bit, but I no longer trust that card. And so I guess all the equipment that we have will eventually go bad. So part of the budget will have to be getting new equipment. In addition, we should get equipment that is really sturdy. Now, I guess people can record on their phones now, and that's pretty common. I do it occasionally. The audio on those is not as good. On the other hand, people already have them, and they're used to using them. So that's pretty cool, I guess. I would really prefer to have a different object for using as a camera rather than my phone. Because phones' batteries die. You can't swap the battery out, so you can't have one charging while you're using it somewhere else. I guess I could get daypacks with solar panels on them. I would like to get that. Actually, they're kind of expensive, but that would be really cool. And I guess I need to pick what brands to use of cameras. I actually really do like the Zoom cameras. They have a really small little one. Looks like a tiny little tombstone or something. Got a big mic on it. It's tiny. But I think from what I read, you can't swap the battery out. So that seems very inconvenient for my use. That seems very bad. They also have these, I think it's Insta 360 maybe. You put it on a pole and get really fancy stuff. So we can have higher end, interesting cameras. We can have action cameras like GoPro and stuff like that. We can even have drones. But I want to find what the simplest camera is for people to use, even potentially one that kids can use, and you know, I don't know that it's necessarily any different for adults, normal ones. I would like to have on site because I want people to record themselves. We can have people who are better camera people, that's fine. But I would like to train everyone. Like have a whole training program, a set of videos and a set of exercises that they go and do where it's like, okay, try walking down a trail and hold the camera really steady and then, you know, compare your shot with this shot. You know, a better one. I do have a tiny Steadicam that I never use because they're kind of not super easy to use, at least not that one. It was a cheap one. And it might be overkill for some cases. Like, you'll notice I'm really casual. I just have this camera in my hand. And I understand how to keep my hand fairly stable. But, you know, I think my mom commented that my videos sometimes make her a little seasick because there's too much motion. And so I'm sorry about that. I try and do a good job. I'm always super conscious about where the sun is. So you'll notice I move it from hand to hand. Like I don't want to put the camera here because now I'm backlit and I'm too dark. So I put it over here, and I also try to avoid getting the shadow of the camera on me somewhere. So there's a few little tricks to recording yourself, and I guess I want to have a whole training program with all of it, including how to turn your SD cards in, and we can have a bunch of SD cards all of the same size, and we might even mark them like with something very thin, like, I don't know if we could use fingernail polish and kind of smudge it, but we want to track each individual SD card, like the one I mentioned now that went bad yesterday, that I lost hours of video. I'm kind of annoyed, and I believe that's actually happened with that card before, so I have to remember that, not format it, and put it in a spot of dead SD cards or very suspicious ones, so that maybe we'll use it in the future, but really it's just no longer any good. The other issue here is that we could look for sponsors once this thing is going, and once, you know, this channel's monetized, once some other channels are monetized, once there's an income, we could, and we have an audience that's bigger, we could get sponsors of cameras, of SD cards, of all kinds of stuff. I mean, I would like dang near everything here to get a sponsor, because I show a lot of stuff. Some channels might be different, like if we had a music channel, you know, we might have music sponsors, and you know, even people who make specific instruments. Like I know a guy who makes guitars. Well, he has a shop that makes guitars, so it's not just him. And we could promote his entire thing. We could do a tour of his workshop and promote his excellent guitars. What else along with this? I've actually grown up around camera equipment my whole life. My dad was a photographer. We would go hiking and I'd be carrying his Nikon F1, which was just a tank of a camera, and lenses, so it was pretty heavy. So we're actually living in an amazing futuristic world where cameras are so easy to have now, but we still need to use them correctly. I think that's another problem with people doing it on their phone, is that then they can only easily upload to their own account. It would be harder to collect all of the footage, because what I ideally want to do is collect all the footage and have it go onto a computer, have those videos immediately be available on Wi-Fi on a media server for people to view what other people are creating. That would inspire them, that would instruct them, and then somebody's going through it, organizing it by date, location. It could be that 3 people go somewhere and they pass a camera around among them, and then that video gets created, and then that video is given back to those people to be posted on their own social media accounts. So we have more than one person posting the same video to their audience. There's a lot of innovative stuff we could do if we think about it kind of like a content house, you know, that's just cranking out the content. And we want to make that a really seamless, easy process. And in some cases have shared resources. It could be that people, you know, that there's a computer that's just an upload computer, and we lock it down so people can't install weird shit on it. And then they can log into their social media accounts and upload all their junk and then get off of it, because some people don't travel with a computer. But we could have stuff like here. We could have, for example, I have a USB powered Bluetooth keyboard for my phone, so I can actually type on my phone, because you know, my fat fingers have a hard time with the little touch screen thing. Yeah, I guess that's my thoughts on that. But you know, I've been doing photography all my life, and I used to actually do it in the dark room, in there for hours and smelling like chemicals. And you know, the world has just changed so much, and it's really a wonderful thing. We can talk to each other, we can share knowledge and wisdom. It could be that we could, you know, I think everybody everywhere should like interview old people and get their knowledge saved. You know, rather than expect them to write it up, and writing things up isn't as deep. I do like to write, but it lacks the nuance of what we're actually evolved to do, which is verbal communication. Oh, I'm supposed to be looking for this fuzzy thing. I think I remember where I was at when I realized it was missing. And the thing is, it wasn't the original one. And I should have bought more than one, come to think of it. I bought something that wasn't even made for this camera. But I was hoping it was the right size, and it did turn out to be the right size. And I actually have it held on there with a hair doingy. Little hair doingy. But it apparently wasn't. I hit a stick or something. This environment is so dirty and dusty sometimes, and just filled with so many hazards. That's another reason I want to have people here, because I don't feel safe. And so anyway, if you have suggestions on how to set up a flow, how to train people with camera work, I made a video recently about how to seem natural on camera, which maybe I seem a little too natural, blowing my nose or something, or peeing or whatever. But that's because I don't care. And I'm the same. Actually, I'm not. Am I the same in person as I am on camera? No. I listen a lot more to other people because the camera doesn't talk back effectively. But when I'm actually with a person, I'm also less forceful. I'm more gentle with people because I'm a nice guy, which apparently is now a bad term because it got misused somehow. So now nice guy means not nice guy. I find it very confusing and annoying. Nice was a good word. I don't understand how it got fucked up. All words get fucked up. And I do want to have also rules about what we publish and don't. I don't really want to publish a lot of really political shit. Most of it is just arguments about things we have no control over anyway. It isn't that I don't have political views, and there may be actually a place for those, but in other people's views. But I don't want to have that on most channels. I don't want a lot of drinking and drug use, even for legal drugs. It just doesn't seem like something to focus on. On the other hand, if we, made a fun channel for that, I guess we could. I mean, I don't know, it'd be worth a whole channel. But I don't want to publish a lot of sexual stuff. I have hosted people who had like OnlyFans accounts and stuff, and I wasn't involved in that. I just showed them what spaces they could use. I don't even know their name underneath other channels. But that's fine to do, but I guess don't want to turn this kind of channel into that. I mean, I make little jokes, like I was talking about soil, and I just posted a video and I said, let's get dirty. I'm like a child. And then I put in a real title after that, and then I have a description about soil and microorganisms and stuff like that. It was a serious video. So I don't care if I'm not very uptight. In my actual personal life, I'm not uptight at all. As long as things are consensual, I really don't care what people do. I'm supposed to be looking for this thing, but I'm not past the point where I noticed it was missing. I don't think. How the fuck did I lose that? A stick hit it. Something did it. Alright, goodbye.